Hello everyone and welcome back to FamilyLifeBuildersTV, where we're rebuilding homes and transforming society. My name is Tosin Opeoluwa, and today we're going to be talking about the reason why marriages are falling apart today. And I'm going to dive into it. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification button so that I can get more video from me that will really support your family and your relationship. So the number one reason why marriage is falling apart today is value. Today, we're gradually losing value for what we know marriage to be. In the olden days, people have lots of value for family system. People want to stay together. They see a need to stay together. But values are changing today. People are not married, but they're living together. And so you're giving the man the privilege, you're giving each other the privilege of what you are not entitled to. Because when you marry someone, you have the legal ground to say, hey, this belongs to me. But you're not married to this person and you're living together, you are acting like you're married. It's going to be a problem on the long run. So values are changing, things are changing, views are changing. Statistics even show us that people that get married after a long term of staying together, they also stand the risk of getting a divorce even at the end of the day, because getting married to someone is different from cohabiting, because things change. There's this sense of ownership that this person begins to have immediately they are married. So things automatically change. That's the number one reason why marriage is falling apart today. Because in the first place, you have a wrong foundation. Number two, there's unrealistic expectation, and this is for those who are really, really married. People have a picture of this Prince Charming and Princess Sophia in mind. They have this idea of what they think marriage should look like, what they think marriage should be. In fact, for some people, they want to marry a pastor, but the truth is, even if you marry a pastor, he will not preach the word of God to you 24 hours, So there's this need for everyone to have a realistic expectation, know what the capacity of this person is. The next reason why marriage is falling apart is dishonesty. I've seen people that marry each other out of dishonesty. There was this particular man who told the bride to be that he sells, electronics, and at the end of the day, after the woman married him, the woman realized that he's just a salesperson. And he never told this woman that he's only a salesperson, but he only told the woman that he sells electronics. And the woman did not know. Dishonesty. So at that point, that marriage begins to fall apart. I wouldn't know whether they're still together today, but things begins to crumble one day after, the other. So there's a need for us to be open, let things be on the table. If it pleases me to marry you with who for who you are, I will marry you. If it doesn't please me, then I should have the opportunity and the privilege to move forward without hindrances. But that takes me to the next thing, selfishness. Because in the first place, people think life is about me, 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 me. So even when they get into the marriage, they are still about me, me, me. They are still individualistic. It's still about me. It's still about what I want. It's still about my career. It's still about my life. It's still about my money. It's still about everything. So that tendency of me, 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 me is also the next thing that destroys marriage. The next one is character flaws. The Christians will call this fruit of the spirit. When people are not exhibiting the fruit of the spirit, we see, lots of character flaws coming up, impatience, the first fruit of the spirit that the Bible talks about is love. So, and the Bible analyzes what love is for us. Love is kind. Love is not jealous. Love is not easily angered. So, when we look at what this thing is, what love really is, and what the fruit of the spirit is, and we begin to walk towards it, we'll start becoming a better person in that relationship. And it shouldn't be a one part thing. It shouldn't be a one person thing. It has to be a mutual thing. You have to want to consciously, intentionally work in that becoming a better you. Because when you're working towards becoming a better you, it means you're working in that fruit of the spirit. You're allowing the fruit of the spirit to germinate. You are allowing the long suffering to come out. You're allowing the patience to come out. You're allowing the temperance to come out. Your spouse will do something for you and you'll be like, well, I'm going to be patient. And people will be like, are you crazy? Can't you leave him? But it's because you are allowing that fruit of the spirit to come out. That's why you are doing that. So marriage falls apart today if the character flaws are there and we are not consciously allowing the fruit of the spirit to override it. The next one is lack of appreciation. Everybody loves to be appreciated. I keep talking about love languages, but the truth is people love to be appreciated. So when people keep helping you in little things, especially when it comes to the issue of marriage, you really need to learn to appreciate this person. It might be their responsibility, but they don't have to do it. That's the truth. um that's one truth that most of us don't want to hear, but it's an essential truth that we need to allow to sink in. It's their responsibility to take care of you. It's their responsibility to do so many things for you. But what if they choose not to do it? Will you still not be happy? Will you still not live your life? So it's very essential for all of us to come to that space where we have to start depending on God and seeing God as our provider, as our helper, as our strength, so much more that we begin to appreciate every little things that our partner do for us. Because when we begin to do that, they want to do more. Even when God blesses us, when God does something for us, if we appreciate him, if we say thank you to him, he wants to do more, right? So the same thing with our partners. If we decide to appreciate every little thing that they do for us, trust me, they will want to do more. Whether a woman, whether a man. I've seen it. I've seen someone that said, "My wife doesn't work, so I'm the one doing all the work. Therefore, she should be the one to take care of the house." But the truth is, she's not working, right? But she's taking care of the house. She's taking care of the children. She's cooking. She's doing everything, right? So once she's doing all these things, it's also a work. It's a full-time job on its own. Because you that you have gone to work, you can't come back and be doing those things. It will overwhelm you, it will weary you, right? So for those things that they are doing, they might not be able to bring money to the table or be part of the project you're doing, but their contribution cannot be overemphasized. And that's why you see that even when people get a divorce, even if the wife is not working or doing anything, the judge will compensate the wife for doing all the astures and all that. So it's very essential that we learn to appreciate our spouse, whether they are bringing money to the table or they're not bringing money to the table. The support they are bringing to the table is enough, and it's very essential that we appreciate them. The next thing is the stunted growth. I also call this in therapy. We also call this repressed growth. So what happened is this: in stages of the human development, we have series of stages, and we have different theories to have come and told us how children grow up, how the stages that every child go through and all that. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I'm going to say this. At some point, when a child is supposed to, develop this kind of character, for example, maybe trust, at this particular age, this child is supposed to develop trust at this time. Maybe this child is supposed to develop attachment at this time, and this child does not develop it. It's going to repress. So when it's repressed and they are growing older, that thing is repressed. So the trust aspect of their life is lost. They're going to have problem with that. When the kind of attachment they're supposed to have, if 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 it becomes ambivalent or something, at the end of the day, they're not going to have a good attachment in their relationship, in their marriage. So this becomes a problem. It's a stunted growth. But when we don't begin to look at this, when we don't see this from from the perspective of the theory, we can't take away the theory from the development of human being, from your relationship and all that. You can't throw those things away. When you have that stunted growth, it's easier for your marriage to fall apart, because mentally you'll be repressed. When that thing is repressed, it will affect every areas of your life, right? Mentally, emotionally, financially, expression wise, they will repress. People that have their trust repressed, it will show in their emotion. People that have a very negative development in their in their bonding, it's going to be a problem for them to really bond with you. That's why you will see couples that get divorced, and they will tell you that not because we don't like each other, but because we are not emotionally connected. So those things are very essential. You are going to have a stunted growth if you miss those stages of development, but there is something we can still do about it. We can call back the future. The past. We can actually grow into the future, that into the past that we miss. We can actually grow into the future that we need. You might have missed a past, but there's a future that you have, and you can grow into that future that you have. It takes a level of consciousness. It takes a level of working with your therapist for you to develop that consciousness, and develop a goal that will take you to that space of the growth that you miss in your past. Let's also look at lack of understanding of love language. Everybody have their love languages. For some people, is a quality time. For some people, is affirmation. For some people, is service. For some people, is gift. For some people, you just have to spend some time with me. Just encourage me. But if you keep giving me money, you keep giving me gifts, and then you're not staying with me, it's a problem for me. So it's very, very essential that we understand each other's love language. I have videos on love language. I'm going to link them, somewhere or in the description below. The next one is lack of marital purpose. In one of my first books, I started writing about marriages and relationships for God knows when. Earlier in my life, I started praying for a good husband. Even as a teenager, I was praying for a good husband, because I know where I'm coming from. I was raised by a single mom. I see my parents in domestic violence as a child, as a 4-year-old child, and I still see the picture till today. So I wanted a good marriage. I wanted a good home. So I was praying for that. And there is one thing that is very essential for me. We need to have a purpose, something that would drive us. So even when we have challenges in our relationship, even when we have challenges in our marriage, some of the things that still keep us together is the marital purpose. So you must know the reason of you coming together with this person. Why did you come together with that person? Is it because of his money? You need to ask yourself. Is it because of how they look? Is it because of their position? When all those things disappear, because sometimes they would disappear as you grow older, some things just fall off. They just fall off. And what would be next? What would be the next thing for you? So the purpose for which you come together, the marital purpose, is what will keep you together. In fact, sometimes you want to get a divorce. Sometimes you are pushed. Sometimes, things change. Sometimes life happens. But that thing will keep you because you have a marital purpose. If you don't have one today, you need to seek God's face and ask God, what is the purpose for which you have brought us together in this marriage? And let me tell you the truth. The higher your purpose, the higher the war. Because the devil will be afraid of you. He doesn't want you to stay together. Generally, the devil knows that when marriage stands, he will not be able to have the power to destroy the world again. That's the truth. Because families, we are formidable forces that can actually destroy the plans of the devil for our world. Imagine, the Bible says one will chase 1,000, two will put 10,000 to flight. So if the whole family, a father, a mother, and maybe 5 or 4 children, as the case may be, or 10 children, if all of you come together and you pray every morning, you pray every evening, in each street, if we have 100 of you on each street praying every night, do you know how your environment will become? Do you know your environment will become drug free? Do you know that your environment will become darkness free? There's going to be so much light in your environment. There's going to be so much light in your school. There's going to be so much light in your community. There's going to be so much light in your home. But because the devil is against you, he's going to do everything to ensure that your marital purpose does not stand. So you have to be conscious of that. And the last thing I'm going to talk about on why marriage is falling apart today is, not lack of personal dreams and vision. Lack of personal dreams and vision, it could bring depression. I won't deceive you. It could bring depression because life is more than waking up every day, eating, sleeping, watching television, and having sex and raising children. Life is more than that. Life has to be lived in purpose and on purpose. Life has to be lived according to the pattern of what God has in stock for you. What's your dream? What's your vision? A lot of people, they fight with their spouses because they don't have anything they are doing. If you're less busy, you don't have anything you're doing, you don't have anything you're thinking about, you are going to exert your energy somewhere. Especially for those who are coming from a dysfunctional background, it's easier for them to destroy everything because they are not busy. So when your life becomes busy, pursuing your dream, pursuing your vision, then life becomes easier for your partner as well. So this is very essential. I want to encourage every one of us to really find out what's the reason for our coming together. And that is when your marriage will become meaningful. And then we will stop breaking the family apart. I have a video on best advice for married couple. I think 50 advice for married couple that will help you stay together. You can watch the video and I'll see you next time. Till I come your way again, remember I keep saying it, keep becoming a better you, because things work when we work it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Joy will always come in the morning.